So you have section 4:1, 47. We want to find the coterminal angle for negative 9 pi over 4. So there's kind of two options. So in the notes, when we did negative in example 3 in 4:1, this is section 4:1, there's kind of the visual method and then there's the more mathy method. So the visual method depends how well you know your unit circle. So if you know the unit circle, you can kind of just draw the angle and then kind of figure out which one. So that's what we did for the negative 7 pi over 4. We realized it landed in the same pi over 4. Another option we could have done, because it's negative, we need to get to the positive range, so we can add 2 pi, because that would be adding a full circle. So we land in the same spot, right? But we can go around multiple times to land there. That's what the adding the 2 pi does. And that's what we had done in example 2 when we were in degrees. The difference in example 2 is we subtracted 360 because we had a big angle versus a negative angle. So we subtracted 360 for a full circle to see what angle would be between 0 and 360. So we can do this one either way depending on you as a student. So let's do the mathy way first. So we're in the negative range. So if we add 2 pi, that's adding a full circle, so it lands in the same spot. Right, because a full circle means, right, we go around 1 time, we still land there. 2 times, we still land there, right? If we had this angle, right, we can go and land there, or we can go around and then land there, right? So adding the 2 pi is just adding a full circle before going there. So let's see what we get when we add 2 pi. Oops. So 2 times 4 over 4 pi. So we get negative 9 pi over 4 plus 8 pi over 4. And so we're still getting a negative angle. So this isn't quite what we want. So we just add 2 pi again. It just means we'll make an extra loop. So negative 4 pi over 4 plus 2 pi. So now that's basically saying we're just going around twice before landing there rather than once. And then we'll do the visual version after. So that'll be plus 8 pi over 4. And we get 7 pi over 4. So this is my coterminal angle because it's between 0 and 2 pi. For those of you who are visual, let's see how this works. So what's nice about pi over 4s, this is something we definitely want to memorize before calculus. But we have 0, pi over 2 on top, pi on the left, and then 3 pi over 2 on the bottom, and then it goes back to 2 pi. And what's nice about pi over 4s are those are the halfway marks. So it's pretty easy to count by pi over 4s. So we were doing negative 9 pi over 4, which means we're going to go clockwise. We always start at the positive x-axis, so we're going to start here. And we're basically going to count 9 of these pi over 4 pieces, because this is pi over 4, and so on. So this would be negative 1 pi over 4, negative 2 pi over 4, negative 3 pi over 4, negative 4 pi over 4, negative 5 pi over 4, negative 6 pi over 4, negative 7 pi over 4, negative 8 pi over 4, and then negative 9 pi over 4. And that makes sense because remember earlier we found that negative pi over 4, so those are the same angle. So what's weird about trig is the same angle can be written in multiple different forms. So negative pi over 4 and negative 9 pi over 4 are the same angle. But neither of these are between 0 and 2 pi. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find the angle between 0 and 2 pi. That also lands here. So the first method I think is easier, the mathy version, but the second version is what's really going to make you master this unit circle. So when you go into calculus, you might not be able to use a calculator. You're going to have to know this unit circle very well. So this is going to help you memorize the unit circle unintentionally. So I'm going to erase all these labels except for that one. And let's try to figure out what angle this would be between 0 and 2 pi. So again, we always start here, but now we're going to go counterclockwise, because counterclockwise is my positive angles. So this would be pi over 4. Pi over 2 is 2 pi over 4. 3 pi over 4. 4 pi over 4. 5 pi over 4. 6 pi over 4. And so this angle is 7 pi over 4. So that's my coterminal angle. And so really you do want to memorize this unit circle pretty well by the time you get to calculus. So although that first method is, I think, a little bit easier because there's structure to it, this method is really going to help you memorize this unit circle and master it for calculus.